So what if one country had a blueprint to unlock the economic future of an entire continent? That's what we're digging into today. We're looking at how Egypt is using massive infrastructure projects to try and build a new future for Africa. This is the explainer on their ambitious continental blueprint.
All right, here's how we're going to break it all down. First up, we're heading to Tanzania to look at a truly massive project. Then we'll get into this fascinating story of two rival dams. After that, we'll see how a whole model for building cities is being exported. And finally, we'll tie it all together to see the huge continent-wide vision behind it. Okay, let's start our journey on the banks of the Rufiji River in Tanzania. This is where a national dream, decades in the making, has just become a gigantic concrete reality.
Just look at that number, $2.9 billion. That's not just what the project cost, right? That's the price tag on a nation's ambition, and it's proof of a very powerful partnership.
So what do you even get for nearly $3 billion? What does that kind of investment actually look like when it's built? What kind of change does that kind of money really create?
Well, here's your answer. You get one of the largest hydroelectric dams in Africa, built from the ground up by Egyptian companies. And this thing is a beast. It's not just generating power for about 17 million families, it's also storing a mind-boggling amount of water for farming and preventing floods. And get this, they built it in record time.
But here's where it gets really interesting. This dam isn't just a standalone success. It's being very strategically compared to another mega dam in the region, Ethiopia's Grand Renaissance Dam. And, well, the difference is pretty stark.
So let's just break this down. On one side, you have the Tanzanian project, built super fast, with almost all its turbines already up and running. On the other side, you've got the Ethiopian dam, which, after more than 14 years, is still, according to our source, facing major hurdles in actually generating power.
And this is where the whole thing pivots to politics. This quote from Egypt's Minister of Water Resources is pretty pointed. He's basically asking, why are you holding back so much of the Nile's water if you can't even use it to generate electricity yet? The implication here is that maybe, just maybe, the dam is more about political power in the whole Nile water dispute than it is about electrical power. So, you see, the success in Tanzania is way more than just one win. It's the proof of concept, it's the showcase for a much, much bigger idea, one that goes way beyond just building dams. Now, imagine this. What if you could take the entire blueprint for a brand new high-tech city and just franchise it? Because that's pretty much exactly what Egypt is planning to do with its own new administrative capital. They're looking to export that know-how to build entire cities from scratch for other nations. And this isn't just some vague idea they're floating. We're talking about agreements that are reportedly already in place to build 8 new capital cities across Africa and the Middle East. That is a project on a scale that is just staggering. I mean, look at this list. You've got countries from Madagascar to Senegal, all the way over to Iraq and Jordan. Egypt is trying to position itself as the go-to architect for the next generation of modern cities. They're not just selling blueprints, they're selling a whole vision of development.
It's really easy to look at all this and see separate projects, right? A dam over here, a city over there, but that's missing the forest for the trees. Each one of these is a piece of a much larger puzzle, the creation of a totally connected, fully integrated African continent.
And you don't have to take my word for it. This is the vision straight from Egypt's President El-Sisi. He says the goal isn't just to build things in Africa, but to connect Africa, to literally build the arteries, the roads, the railways, the power lines that will let the continent operate like one single, powerful economic bloc. So the whole strategy really boils down to 3 simple but incredibly ambitious steps. Step 1, build the network. Step 2, use that network to unlock the continent's massive hidden wealth. And step 3, unleash a wave of prosperity that could completely change Africa's role on the world stage. Look, the source makes the point that Africa has always had this incredible potential, right? It's like a treasure chest overflowing with resources that nobody can quite get to. So what's been the missing piece? Infrastructure. This vision is all about finally forging that key, building the network to connect Africa's resources not just to the world, but crucially to each other.
And so, all of this leaves us with a huge question, one that could really define the 21st century for Africa. Can concrete and steel actually pave the way to a new future? Because if this grand plan actually works, it won't just redraw the map of Africa, it'll redraw the economic map of the entire planet. And that is a story we should all be watching.